Hey dreamers. Hey. I'm ready to make some turkey Salisbury steak and gravy with mashed potatoes and broccoli. So we're cutting up these potatoes here. I don't usually like to use a potato peeler, so I just do it the old school way and do it with a knife. So I'm done with the peeling of the potatoes, and I'm getting ready to cut them into cubes so I can make my mashed potatoes. Alrighty, so dreamers, here I am cubing the potatoes, getting them all prepared to be boiled and seasoned for our mashed potatoes. Drop in the comments how you make your mashed potatoes. Do you make them from scratch or do you use a substitute? Alrighty, so we're going to put them on. We're going to rinse some of that starch off, and we're going to put them on the stove to boil for about, I don't know, maybe 30 minutes. We're rinsing all the starch off. So dreamers, here is a picture of the better than bouillon I'll be using for my gravy, and also all of the ingredients that I'm going to be using for this meal. I'm checking the potatoes to see if they're softening as of yet. And once they get extremely soft, we're going to go ahead and rinse them off. But they're almost done. Now, this is my turkey meat, dreamers. I'm coming in with the Worcestershire, the garlic salt, some Sazon. You know, I love Sazon. And some lemon pepper I'm going to put in there. And also some onion soup mix. I always add this to my meat whenever I'm making patties on the grill or, such as this in gravy. So dreamers, if you're sensitive about this part, turn your head because I'm getting ready to go in here and mix it up, and I don't have on no gloves. I ain't got no rings on this hand. I washed my hands real good. I cleaned under my nails, and I'm cooking for my family, so I'm not putting on no gloves. And I'm just mixing everything together. I'm squishing it with my knuckles, and I'm mixing this to make sure it's all going to be incorporated. Now here I am getting ready to go in with that lemon pepper. Few shakes of that. And then I'm just going to mix it in again. And we're starting off with the olive oil, dreamers. Going to put that in the bottom of the pan. And then we're going to pat out our patties after we add some garlic, some minced garlic. And we're going to mix that in there first. And then we're going to pat out some patties. All right, dreamers, I'm patting out the patties, but I'm also checking the stove to make sure that olive oil is not going to burn, because it will burn rather quickly. You have to pay attention to it. So my advice is to put it on low until you get done patting out the patties, or just leave it off until you patted out a few patties. So I'm going to put these on a paper plate and get them out of my bowl and continue to pat them out so I can put them into these frying pan. All right, dreamers. I'm patting them out pretty good and making them look pretty around the edges, so they can almost be completely round and make them look inviting like so. We're dropping them in the pan, dreamers. And that olive oil, they're going to be delicious. And make sure you space them out, dreamers. Don't crowd them too close together. Leave a little space for the meat to cook. And here's my next round of patties waiting to go in the pot. It's time to clean the broccoli, dreamers. So we're going to run this under some water and spread those florets apart to try to rinse anything off. And then we're going to cut it up and put it in a bowl with some iodized salt to try and kill some of these bugs. We're going to cut the bottom crowns off just to make a new cut. And we're going to break them up and put some salt on top of them and let them sit for about 10 minutes, 15 minutes. In the meantime, I'm going to go back over here to the stove and flip my patties here, dreamers, and press them down. It's almost like you make a hamburger, but this is a healthier version. Even we're cooking them in olive oil, and we're going to put them in a little bit of gravy, probably a lot of bit of gravy. All right, so here I am putting the salt on top of the broccoli, but it's going to sit for about 10 or 15 minutes, and then I'm going to rinse all of this off. Just adding a little bit more water in the bowl. Okay. So, dreamers, with the magic of TV, I have sped it up and rinsed the broccoli florets off, the broccoli crowns off, and we're going to cut them up and put them in the pot. All right, dreamers, we're going to put these broccoli crowns into the pot, and I'm going to add a little bit of my Better Than Bouillon and flavor the water of the broccoli so the broccoli can have a great flavor. So look at that. Just added some hot water to get everything out of the jar, and I'm going to add it to the broccoli pot. Okay? And we're going to let that cook for about 30 minutes. So we're going in. This is our second batch of turkey patties, dreamers. And we're just turning these over and getting them golden brown. And this is how they should look once they're done. Now, my potatoes are done, dreamers, so I'm getting ready to rinse them off. I had this little apparatus thing I got from Amazon, and it helps me to drain my food. So that's what I have on the end of my pot. And I'm getting ready to go in with some butter, salt, and pepper. And I'm going to make these potatoes ranch. I have some homemade ranch, not homemade, but store-bought, but homemade, from a produce market in my local area. But you don't have to do that. You can use Hidden Valley or whatever type of ranch you want. My favorite is that Celtic sea salt. So I'm going in with that, the pepper, the butter, and ranch. While the potatoes are still hot. And here I am. Doo-doo-doo. Hey, look at what I'm doing, y'all. All right, now we're mashing the potatoes with that butter in there. It should be melted by now. And I put one whole stick in there. About a half a cup of ranch and some salt and pepper to taste. We're mixing it all up here, and they're looking fabulous. It's going to be time to plate in a minute. So here are our patties. They are done. These are turkey. All right, I'm about to make this gravy, y'all. I'm not a perfect gravy maker, but I'm going to show y'all how I do it from scratch when I do it from scratch. So I went in with some cornstarch with the oil and the grease and the pan drippings that were left in the pan from the meat. So I don't know, I just sprinkled it in there and started getting all the pan drippings to start my gravy off. My fire is up. It's not on low. And then I just added I cheated. I added a jar of gravy, y'all. The Heinz gravy, I just added that in there with the cornstarch. And I'm about to stir it up in there. Do. Yep, it's cheating, but it's going to taste good. It's going to really taste good. And I'm going to add some cream of mushroom or cream of chicken. Or you could add cream of celery, cream of asparagus, cream of whatever you want. But I'm going to add cream of mushroom to this. So I have this cornstarch. I have the the jar of Heinz gravy. And sometimes I'll put some onion soup mix in there. It depends on how the gravy is looking and how it tastes. But this is probably going to be enough here. I'm going to add a little bit of seasoning and maybe some more water, of course. And then I'm going to add the patties back into the pan. Here I am adding the water, and I'm using the same can that cream of mushroom was in because I did leave some in there. So I'm just going to add the water into that and pour it into my pan and just keep stirring. And I'm using a spatula. Some people use a fork or whisk or whatever, but I'm using that. And here it is getting thick. I'm adding the patties back into it, and this is going to taste delicious. Now, since I added my meat dreamers, my gravy is getting so thick. So I got to add some water to it. You know, we need some gravy to go on our mashed potatoes. And it has to have enough gravy to cover, at least halfway cover these patties. So we're going to have to go in with water or chicken broth, whatever you like. We're doing it, dreamers. We're making a beautiful dinner. Ooh. Yep, more water to this because it's getting so thick. Just a little bit more. All right. And here we are. Our broccoli is done. It's tender. It's not mushy, but it's definitely palatable and you can break it with a fork. That's how we want it. It's done, dreamers. I'm about to plate it up. I guess I'll get this plate to Sugar Bear. And here we are, dreamers. A nice, simple, home cooked meal that didn't take that long to make and it didn't break the bank. Yummy. Thank you for watching, dreamers. Please like, subscribe, share, continue to watch. Press the notification bell so you can be notified of each video that I drop. Thank you for watching, dreamers.